And now, the Big D and Bubba Weekly Podcast.
Big D and Bubba, they have a show 5 days a week, but they don't get to say everything that's on their mind. So they have an extra one, and that's how we get the podcast. The podcast. The podcast. Big D and Bubba podcast. The podcast. The podcast. Big D and Bubba podcast.
I just love whenever people they can't make up their mind what they want to say next. Welcome to the podcast. Once again, brought to you by the wonderful people at O'Reilly Auto Parts. We love O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better prices. They got it every day. And matter of fact, we have walked. There's one within walking distance from the studio. We have walked to O'Reilly and grabbed parts for our vehicles over the latest or the last couple of years, and I just love that place.
One time I had to walk because I had a flat tire, and I had to go. Remember, I went and I bought I don't even know what you call it.
Plug
like an
kit?
electric, an electric
a compressor,
inflate tire thing.
Yeah,
I'm not good
it's
at this.
called a compressor. It's a compressor, and I keep one. Actually, I've got like an underfloor compartment in my vehicle, and I keep one in there. I also keep a plug kit and other things too, because you never know.
You never know.
Nice folks at O'Reilly. I went in and I'm like, hi, I need oil. They're like, okay. I said, help. Like, I don't know. Because Dee had sent me a picture, and of course I promptly lost it.
You have a little oil leak, don't you?
It's not a leak. I don't know. Burns oil.
What do you eat? What are you eating?
Sorry, it's M&M's. But I needed chocolate. So, yeah, I went to O'Reilly, and I was like, hi, I just need oil, help. And so they took me through the...
And they helped you.
They did.
Thank you, O'Reilly.
Thanks. That is painful to listen to, actually.
Little things, man. It really helps.
I love that. So I guess before we go too deep in everything, a lot of people have asked about a recap on the adoption trip to go and visit and meet my birth mother. I'll give a little short rundown, and that still is going to take about 5 minutes. But it's pretty crazy. So I show up in town, and I let her know that, hey, we're still good for this afternoon, and she started to back out. She started to pull a Bubba, and I'm like, no, I'm here. I've made the trip. I've gotten the everything taken care of. I'm in an Airbnb. I've got the hotels. I got the rental car. I really, I'm here. I'm coming. She's like, I don't know. So I was like, well,
I'm here.
I'm like,
I
well,
flew.
I know. I'm like, just
Wow.
think. I'm like, why don't you think on it, and I'll just head your way, because it was a 2.5 hour drive.
Oh.
So I'm like, I'll head your way, and you just make up your mind, and I'll call you whenever I get to town. Okay. Well, I never called her. Obviously, I went straight to her house, and I just knocked on the door, and the door opens up, and man, that was the craziest moment. She opens the door, and that was the first time I have, this for most people is something you'll never understand, but that was the first time in my life I had ever seen a human being that looked like me.
Yeah.
Like, that was crazy. She opened the door and it was instant. I'm like, that's my face shape, my hair color, my eye color. It was weird. I mean, even my children, luckily, they look like my wife. So when I look at them, and all I see is my wife in them, and I guess it's kind of weird because she sees me in them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so it was a very strange thing. It started off really awkward. We, because you're just trying to make small talk, and how do you make small talk with somebody that gave you away as a child? It's so. Finally, I just dove into it, and I said, "Look, I just wanted to let you know that I'm not here to do anything other than look into your eyes, look into your face, and tell you thank you for giving me a fantastic life." And so that kind of broke the ice.
Did she cry at that?
Not
I'm
yet.
about to cry at that.
Not yet.
Beautiful thing.
So, and I brought her flowers, and she was like, "Who are these for?" I'm like, "They're for you. I'm showing up at your house."
For?
So she took the flowers and put them in the thing. She was so excited because no man had given her flowers in decades, she said. And I'm like, oh, wow. Well, that's something to remember, to continue to send flowers on a regular basis.
And Bubba, true Bubba mode, he should have brought like cooking flour, all-purpose flour. And what's this for? That's for you.
You know what? I'm surprised you didn't. You're right. That's a Bubba move.
But so anyway, I said that, and then we started talking about everything, and she goes, "Do you want to kind of get a little rundown of where I was in my head at that point?" So we started talking about her past, and she had a rough childhood. She told me about that, and then she starts telling me about my birth father, who was a turd, like just an absolute turd of a human being, abusive, terrible person. And she tells me about him, and he, she gets pregnant. He's like, "I'm out of here. See you later. Bye." And so he's out of the picture. So she gets with another guy, and she is in love with this guy and decides that they're going to get married. This guy, though, doesn't want another dude's kid. So she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna give him up. I'm gonna whatever." And he's like, "I want her to get an abortion." I mean, just all this crazy stuff. She decided to kind of disappear herself for a little while, and she had me, and then basically asked the preacher's daughter to see if they knew anybody who could take me in. And my parents took me in, and she was like, "Just take the baby for 6 weeks, 6 months, whatever it takes for me to convince this guy that I'm going to marry to raise this kid." And it just wasn't working. A little bit into it, she reaches back out to my parents, and she's like, "Look, I can't take the kid back. I would love to, but I can't. I mean, it's one of those him or me kind of situations with the guy I'm going to get married to." And she chose him, and she's like, trying to get her life together. So my parents raised me, and my mom would send like letters back and forth and tell her what's going on, like little pictures and things like that. And they talked back and forth for a while. Well, this husband that she married ended up also being kind of like a repeat of my birth father. So she ended up leaving him, got into another relationship. Guy was in and out of jail, just terrible, horrible things. Went on. And just to bring it short, she went through several relationships and marriages with abusive, terrible people. And she said, she's like, "I had the worst taste in men. Apparently, every guy that I attracted was just a terrible dude." And so we ended up talking for a while. And the whole time she's telling me all of these terrible things, the poverty that they lived in and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I was not rich growing up. We were poor. My dad he was a body shop manager at a car dealership. So he made sure to repair your car. He was a mechanic. And they raised all of us. It was a family of 6, and we were able to make it on his money and all that kind of stuff. But I was just like seeing this alternate life of what I was going to end up being, because I would have been in an abusive situation after abusive situation after abusive. It just would have been this cycle of terribleness. Yeah. And I was sitting there. It was weird because as she's telling me all of this, by the time she's like on husband number 3, I'm sitting there and I kind of envision alternate universe Bubba sitting next to her. And alternate universe Bubba was a mess, like face tattoos, maybe even a tear tattoo, in and out of jail, addicted to a couple things, just an abuser himself. I mean, just terrible stuff. And I'm like, oh man, I'm so glad that I didn't end up that kid and grow up into that man. And it would have just continued the cycle. And I told her, I grabbed her hand. I said, "Look," I said, "everything you're telling me is amazing and all, but what you don't understand is you broke the cycle. By giving me up, you broke the cycle of that guy. And that's what I would have been. So your whole reasoning to give me up was to give me a better life. Well, consider it mission accomplished. I had a fantastic childhood. I told her about growing up, playing in the swamps and all the fun, silly, goofy things and the skateboarding. And
did you tell her about how cool we are?
I did. I told her about all this. I mean, so we went. I mean, we had.
Did you download the app on her phone?
No, I did not. I should have.
I know.
But no, I don't know. I don't know if she would like me telling her story. I'll be very honest with you. I don't know about that, but. She was very, very awesome, and we got along very well. It was awkward in the beginning. And like I said, I told you guys, and I mentioned it on the radio too, by the end of the night, like the end of the first night, we went out to dinner. She picked the restaurant she wanted to go to and all that kind of stuff because, again, she doesn't do that kind of stuff. So we're like, let's go. Come on, let's go out. Let's go grab dinner. So we go to this place she wanted to go to, and we walk in, and it was, by this time, we had really kind of hit a good stride. And so every person she saw, she would walk in and go, hi, what's your name? Carson? Oh, Carson, well, this is my son. I mean, it was the craziest thing. It was so cool.
It's funny
to see the transformation.
Your birth mom did that because she just met you. My mom does that anyway.
No, but it's
Every time I go.
but it was one of those things to where I was just like blown away. Like how cool that she didn't want me to show up at her door because she was afraid of what could have been. Like, somebody show up at your house and it's a child you gave up. You don't know if they're going to have animosity. You don't know what they're really coming for.
I wonder too if she internalized and maybe she was afraid of disappointing you. That, maybe part of it was she was afraid of who was going to be facing her, but she's had all these years to think about, herself and, maybe what's he going to say when he sees me? Am I not going to be
good enough?
Yeah, that if, she was in contact with your mom about kind of how your life was going, at least for the first few years, that, I think I would have super anxiety about that.
Well, I think we got past it. So
sounds like it, yeah.
It was. There was a lot of healing on both sides, I think. And like I told Big D, I texted him that night. I'm like, dude, I thought I was coming here for me. I thought I was coming here to answer my questions, but I realized, a couple hours into this that I was there for her. Like it was just as much about her healing and about her heart and about her answers that were needed to get to this point. So yeah, it's interesting. I don't know where this will lead to in the future. I mean, I was not looking for another mother. I mean, I have the best mom on the planet. The mom who raised me is mom and always will be. I still call my birth mother by her first name. We hopefully will have a very good friendship moving forward, and that's kind of where I see it going. And that's good, though. I think a friendship is better than no ship at all. And hopefully we can kind of move forward from there. But, yeah, so we've texted back and forth, and we've talked a couple times this week since I've gotten back. And that's kind of the update. So
that's great.
A lot of people were very curious about how it went. And let me tell you, it went great. And I have such a renewed appreciation for each and every one of you guys and for the 17 listeners and for whatever. I mean, I have been just a sap at home. I've been so huggy, touchy. Like, come here, and I'm hugging on my kids, and my son's like, Dad.
Go hug Patrick right
I
now.
would.
There you go.
Patrick, go hug him.
No, don't know. Why?
Yes, well, yes.
I don't want Bubba to hug
Yes,
me.
you do.
Love
There it
fest.
goes. Oh, there it
Oh,
is.
you know what? That was
There
actually
it
pretty
is.
nice.
Yeah.
I resisted, but it was nice.
It's been good. I'm so happy. And it's so, when you're faced with seeing what you could have been, what could have happened, it really kicks you in the teeth. And it's like,
Just an alternate timeline.
yeah,
Bubba.
it was like have you ever seen Gwyneth Paltrow Sliding Doors? Mm-hmm. It was like that. It was like
I was thinking Biff Tannen in Back to the Future too.
There's
Same
a little
thing,
bit of Biff Tannen
right?
too. It's some of the strangest things.
Especially how dark that you feel it could have gone.
Oh, I know.
That's why I was thinking that
Not
awful.
could have gone.
Yeah,
would
would've.
have gone. There was no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt whatsoever.
This is not nearly as dramatic, but when I was in my mid 20s, even before my first marriage, one of my first high school girlfriend, who I dated when I was 15, reached out to me, and she had a rough life, and things did not go well for her. And she said something over the phone like, sometimes you ever wonder what would have happened if we had stayed together? And like, I had that moment where like in an instant, I saw how my life would have changed if I'd stayed with her. I wouldn't have gone to college where I did. I wouldn't have met you guys. I wouldn't have ended up here. Like all of it would have all been different if I just stayed with my first high school girlfriend.
Dude, it all would have been
things
different.
like that.
And that's what I sat my kids down and we had a nice family meeting. And I'm like, don't think little decisions don't have weight all, decades down the road. Mm-hmm. I mean, think about how much different, Big D, how different would it have been if I never would have come around and said yes when you asked me to do the show together?
Yeah, I would have found someone else and been wildly successful.
But you know what I mean. It would not have been the same at all. How different would it have been if Dwight would have said yes?
It would have been Big D and Dwight.
Yeah.
We never would have hired Patrick. I mean, how different would it have been if
we can't kick ourselves because
That's what I'm
that.
saying. I'm just saying, it's so awesome to
I like
stuck
alternate
with
memory
me.
lane. It's a
Yeah,
lot of fun.
this is not fun for me. I don't know about you guys. That wasn't a lot of fun.
Yeah. No, that's good, man. I'm glad that you did that. I think it was I know you talked to her for a while before this, but I'm glad you got to meet her.
It was always business, though. Like when we talked, it would be about, what's my family history? Hey, I went to the doctor and this happened. Is this something that's in the family? That kind of stuff. And it was always very, very cold.
Did you, when you were there, did you go and go through her refrigerator to see how much cookie dough she had in her refrigerator?
I will say this. This is what's cool. So I have sent Christmas cards to her every year. As you know, over the since probably about 5-6 years now, I've sent her a Christmas card with it's always a family photo. She had them all on her fridge.
Aww.
And that was another thing. Towards the end of the night, I'm like, hey, do not think that you didn't make a humongous difference in my life. Again, going back to the all you wanted were things to be better. I said, next time you walk into your kitchen, look at your refrigerator and look at those pictures of that family there, and just think that I did that. Because if she hadn't made that decision, I wouldn't have ended up where I was. And that family would not even exist if it wasn't for her decision. And I'm like, so just know that every time you look at that crew, that's because of what you did.
Can you say all that, but in the voice of Doc from Back to the Future?
Okay, I'm trying to think of Doc. I could do it maybe as Marty. I don't know if I could do Doc's voice.
Either way. I mean,
Marty's pretty good. He's
Okay, so every time you go in there, I don't know if is that a, I'm just trying to, because, it's Marty McFly Doc. I don't know. I can't do it. I can't. I'm not the celebrity vocal voice impression guy.
You know what? That was pretty good.
Not bad.
Hey, Doc.
Did you guys order the same thing at the restaurant? I wondered if
Yes, we did.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, so she wanted something, and I was like, I'm going to take the shrimp and grits, and she goes, actually, that sounds really good. I'll have that too. Yeah. Isn't that weird?
Mm-hmm. I wondered if your palates were similar because I don't know what's genetic versus what's learned. So,
well, I will say this: there is so much to be said about the old nature versus nurture argument, and like Trading Spaces, the old Eddie Murphy, Dan Aykroyd movie, is a great example of that.
Great.
I am 1,000,000,000% on board with nurture being the leading thing. Sure, your genetics will dictate certain things about you, but nurture, how much love you had in your family, how much support you have around you, that kind of stuff, that is the difference maker. And if you're in a bad situation, I'll say this because there's a lot of people who are going through things right now. If you're in a bad situation in your life and you're just not where you think you want to be, get out of it. Get whatever it is, get out of it. If you don't see yourself, progressing forward, like if you're in an abusive relationship or whatever, it won't stop until you make it stop. So just get out of it. Make that choice. Make a difference. Make a change. Make that change.
Gotta make the change.
Dim the rules.
Oh, man, now I wish I had that one.
You see, you wish you had. That's one of the best golds ever. Dim the rules.
Damn the rules.
Thank you.
That whole video is
It's
really
so awful.
awful.
It's so great.
But awfully funny.
That part it's a keeper.
Damn the rules.
And Big D, every time he says it, always adds dims.
Dims the rules. I do too.
I
Yeah.
know. I wish I'd.
Damn the rules.
Well, it really is a dim, isn't it?
I turned it off.
What are you guys doing this weekend? Patrick, you playing poker again?
No, not this weekend. I have Evangeline this weekend,
had
so
a
I'm going to
good
be
weekend. Last weekend.
I'm going to be dad this weekend. But I had a great weekend last weekend.
It was $60 to play at the table you went to?
No, that was a tournament. It was a $60 buy-in tournament. It was just like during the day because we all had Friday off because you were out of town. So I went and played during a daytime tournament, which I can never do. And $60 buy-in, and first prize was over $600, and I won. And it was
Amazing.
awesome. And
Good
I was
for
the
you.
youngest person at the final table, 9 other people, and it wasn't even close. I was the only one there, not on Social Security, and those guys were awesome. Seriously, like I was
fun?
like, oh, I have to. No,
Awesome
just good.
players?
Like, yeah,
Oh.
like these guys probably play every day. There's a tournament at noon at that particular casino every day, and these guys are all retired, so they probably play at least several times a week. I'm like, oh, I need to kind of sit up straight in my chair and pay attention.
But you know what? They probably always play together.
Right.
And so that's where
And
you
so
had
I
the
was like
advantage.
this
They didn't
weird
know how to
guy
read you.
that- Yeah, it was nice.
So I always thought that it was just luck of what cards you got.
Not in poker.
Bluffing and all that kind of stuff plays a
Reading,
huge
bluffing,
part of it.
math. Like there's a lot more skill to poker. There's luck involved. I mean, you can get unlucky and you can get super lucky. But you're only going to do that so many times because it's math. Like, I lost a hand on Friday night.
Could they reattach it?
Yeah, they can do that now.
They can do that now. I know. So
There's this kid who's. Oh, go ahead.
I lost a big pot. And
Bag of flour.
thank you. Bag of flour.
All purpose.
I had this particular situation where everybody got all in the hand. I had like a 1% chance of losing that hand, and I lost. So it's one of those where you go, man, that sucks. But if I play that hand again tomorrow the same way, I'm gonna win. Like I did everything right. So if you play well, the odds will eventually.
Do you
go into your favor.
wear sunglasses and that kind of
I
stuff?
don't, but everybody wears a mask now, which.
It's harder
don't
to
know.
read people. Or?
Yeah, but for me, that was never my thing. My thing is being hard to read. So now everybody's hard to read. So everybody's got the same skill as me. So it kind of it does make that a little bit rougher.
Do you wear like a certain T-shirt, like a Smoking the Bandit T-shirt, or
Don't. They have some people.
Can we get you a satin jacket?
Dude, I'll wear a satin jacket.
I have to make you
There
one.
was this one guy. Remember, I sent you a picture of him. There's a guy who always showed up with a white T-shirt, and over it he had like a button-up, like a Mo Betta shirt, like a cowboy shirt from the '90s.
Yeah.
And a cowboy hat. And he showed up every time he wears the same outfit, and I'm like, I'm not sure. But that might be Ricky Van Shelton. Like, I'm not 100% sure because no one's seen him in a while, but that could be him.
Do you ever want to go, Ricky? And see if he turns
wait
around.
to see if he says. So, excuse me, sir. Are you Eddie Raven? Yes, I am.
Well, who's asking? Yeah,
never know.
we need to get you a like a satin jacket, and on the back it needs to say like this says
No, I want to like get the cricket out and get something to iron on the back of a satin jacket for
gosh.
you.
I'm not worried. You know how much satin it would take?
We need a pun for Patrick.
know.
We need
I
we need
don't
some
want
kind
a
of
pun.
Like I know some sort of like poker thing. Or
Yeah.
like,
I have a poker T-shirt. It's got the Millennium Falcon on it from Star Wars, and it says "Never tell me the odds" because I can't stand when people do that.
That's pretty good.
But I
What if
don't
it's-
really want to.
what if it said poker face?
No, I'm not wearing that. No, I wouldn't wear that. No.
I actually am duck going poker puns, and I'm going to Punstoppable.
We could get a Garth Brooks 2 of a kind working on a full house. That's good.
My poker cards were so crappy they were a straight flush. Whoa.
okay.
Why don't they play poker in the savannah? Too many cheetahs.
Well, we need like not a joke. We just need it to like say.
No, we just need a pun. Yeah.
We need just a one.
Oh, that was bad. That last one was so bad. I just left
High stakes poker, and you have like a stake on it would be kind of cool.
Okay. That'd be kind of fun.
Boop, beep, 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 beep. I wanted to get a poker game together for my birthday, but with COVID, I don't think it's in the cards. Ho ho!
What if it says world's greatest poker player and it's an Uno card?
Dude, I love that actually. I love that.
Yeah, no, I don't want that.
Out of hand.
You should pull one of those out. You should have one like just a one of the where you can change the color and just throw it down and go and red.
Reverse.
Watch the
Skip.
watch the old men go
How do we make a prank video doing that for real?
Oh my God, wouldn't it be great?
They throw you out of the casino, but it would be worth it.
Or you show up and you have like a little swan that you made, like an origami swan, and every time you fold, that's your thing. You go, fold. And you throw it out there.
Bubba.
It's pretty good too.
It's really
Big.
bad.
Or you just have like a poker card that's origamied into something, and then that's how you fold.
I agree. I like it.
Too many cheetahs.
Or like as you're playing, you like doodle like a stick drawing of whoever another player across from you, and that's your thing is that you give it to them at the end of the game. And you sign it for them.
Ooh, yes.
You mean like
There's a guy-
your poker ended in a draw?
There's a guy who won the world.
Oh,
in a draw. See? You know what? I'm just going to stop.
Why? We have more.
There's a guy who won the World Series. His name is Greg Raymer. He won like $8 million or something. And he brings a fossil with him. I don't even remember why, but he brings like a little fossil. And that's his card marker. And whoever takes him out of the tournament, he signs it and gives it to him.
See, you need a gimmick, man.
Yeah, man.
Except I'm not famous, even to poker players.
Well,
I'm
what
not,
came first?
You bring those little boxes of cereal, like the little thing of
like Rice Krispies or
yeah, like
cornflakes.
Rice Krispies, whatever, and they just on the back of your shirt it says serial gambler, and then like that's your card. So your position marker or whatever is the box of cereal, and at the end you sign it and give it to him.
Bubba, I love this idea so much.
so stupid.
I'm already picturing the jacket. I am all in on this.
I'm not wearing that. Don't waste your time making it.
Because the thing is, all right, so you're saying he was famous, so he did this. What if he did it and became famous? Because this dude is giving me fossils. Like, who's this
No,
guy?
you
giving
gotta
me
be famous
cereal?
first.
You don't.
You can't
Because then
that's
people are be like, it's the cereal
That's
guy.
it. Everybody wants to be around the person who's quirky and all that kind of stuff. That's how you get on TV. They don't put. It's,
Well, we
you
should
either
do
have to be
something that's
beautiful
easier
or
to
weird.
give to everybody. Every time somebody beats you in a hand, you have Tootsie Rolls in your pocket, and you take one out, you use it as your card marker, and whenever you lose a hand, you give the other person the Tootsie Roll, and you take another one out of your pocket and put it as your card marker.
That's it.
You can be Tootsie Roll guy.
Yeah.
It's a little more practical than.
Now, do you want to be
But you
known
can't
as
sign.
that?
You can't sign
Yeah,
the
I don't
Tootsie
like
Roll.
the Tootsie Roll.
You can't sign the Tootsie Roll.
No, I like.
I don't wanna
when
sign
somebody
it.
gets
So
you out of the
pretentious.
game. Not
Let
only
me-
do they
let
get
me
your
autograph
chips,
this for you.
they get your cereal. You're providing them breakfast.
But now
love
it's
this.
going to be rough the first few times.
Yeah. You might need some ringers.
Yeah, the dealer's gonna call the pit boss. So floor, and then somebody comes over. Yeah, what's going on? This guy over here. So he lost the hand, and then he took a cereal box and signed it and gave it to him. And the pit
They'll
boss is
just
gonna
look
go.
at you like you're weird, and that's it.
You
Yeah.
why did?
Yeah, right. You're going to
you
have to get
signed
past
it?
this. You're going to have to get past that. That's
have
going
to-
to
you have
happen.
to come up
Also,
with your
you
standard
really
answer.
overestimate people's want to interact with crazy people. If somebody handed me autographed cereal, I would smile politely and take it. They're not going to call the pit boss over. They're going to be glad
No,
you're
the
gone.
dealer will because it looks weird. It's weird. You can't do anything that weird at a poker table in a casino
Why?
because it's weird.
Dude, there are
Anything
people
out of the ordinary.
who show up and wear sunglasses
I know.
and they do silly
they
things.
do.
Or maybe you put on, dude, what if he wore like little alien little ears, like, you know, like a little
I've seen
Martian
it.
dude? Oh, really?
Seen
They've
it.
already done that?
How about a beer helmet?
No, I've never seen that.
Ooh, a beer helmet.
Your helmet would be new.
What if you every time you sit down to play, you have a little goldfish in a little.
Dude, that's your marker. That's your marker. You have one of those
I
beta
guarantee
fish.
they would never let you put the
You have a
goldfish
beta
on
fish.
the table. They would
So
not
it's
let
like
you do
ping
that.
pong at the fair, except you're handing out the prize.
And you talk to it throughout
Yeah.
the game.
Oh, yes.
And you got to give it a funny little name,
Needs a
like
name.
you know, Flaky.
It's got to be
All right.
Mist or something.
All right, Mr. Flaky.
Yep.
So he's all in. He's got us covered. This is a big deal here. Now, do we fold or do we call?
Yeah.
I tell you what, swim around in a clockwise circle if you think I should call.
You need something, man.
I don't know. I kind of love this. There are so many good gimmicks you've thrown out.
I don't want any of these gimmicks.
I think these
love
gimmicks
them.
are pretty great.
Do you use your own? Do you use your real voice or do you use an accent when you play?
I have actually used an accent before.
What are your accent choices?
I don't know, but I'll just go into sometimes you just don't want to be you. at a table with people you don't know.
Yeah, we get it. We understand.
So just act completely different.
So
it's not so much about voices; it's about personalities.
Posture.
Let's see. I would like to see one of these people.
I want to see Poker Patrick.
We want to meet these people.
Poker.
I'm usually me, especially like at a cash game where I'm going to be there all night. But in a tournament where you're at a table with 8 other people you're never going to see again, yeah, you can get a little weird.
Yeah.
You know,
you like getting weird?
What do you do?
I don't know.
Talk
Usually,
to us.
Do you like twirl your beard?
Mm-hmm. Sometimes
That's not weird though. Everybody who has a beard strokes their beard. It's
so
weird.
there are players who talk a lot, and there are players who like literally never say a word. Sometimes I like to pretend to be the last guy and just kind of mumble to yourself.
Does anyone ever tell another player to shut up?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Really? If somebody gets too chatty?
Oh
or they think,
gosh.
What if he adopts a wizard persona? And he walks in. So he walks in. He's got a wizard hat. He's looking like Gandalf.
You shall not call.
You walk in. You're like Gandalf.
Patrick the Gray.
No, we just call him the Wizard of Odds.
The wizard. That's
the
actually
jacket.
a website.
That's the
That's
jacket.
the jacket.
No, already trademarked.
Is it?
It's a gambling website. It's called Wizard of Odds. Dang it. It's a real thing.
Shoot, that was so good, Bubba.
It is good. Somebody's had it for 20 years.
That was really good. Okay, well.
Now maybe I can get them to sponsor me, and I can just be the wizard. Because I'm getting the beard is getting back there, and the hair. Give me 6 months.
I like you just showing up in the wizard outfit and not ever acting like a wizard.
Just don't acknowledge it.
No,
You could just be the Wiz.
you just don't.
I had a guy show up in a bright pink suit one time, and just not talk about it.
Yeah,
And you're just like,
that's it.
Yeah, you can't
Was
talk
he
about
good?
it. You cannot address it.
he was okay, but the suit. I mean, it makes you weird. Just like the guy in the cowboy hat with the open shirt showing off his chest hair. I mean, it's weird. So you're distracted by that. Women do it all the time. I was at a table with a lady wearing the lowest cut tank top I've seen in public in years. It was really obnoxious.
Yeah,
But I'm sure that gives you some kind of
advantage.
even if it doesn't really give you an advantage, it makes you think.
Yeah, it might be her confidence
Exactly.
that gets boosted while nobody else cares.
Oh God, she had a voice like that woman from Will and Grace, the
Karen Walker.
Karen, yeah. Oh, she talked like this the whole
Poodle.
time. Oh my God,
Honey,
I think I'm gonna call.
honey, I'm all in.
Oh, it was. She got put out of the tournament, and the rest of us clapped for the guy who put her out.
Oh, man.
She was so annoying.
What if we got you a green suit, and then we added a green tail to it, and you're the Lizard of Odds?
Why do I have to be a lizard? That's so weird.
I don't know. We went a little far with that one.
Yeah, that was a little.
Well,
much.
you can't do the wizard thing
No, I
because
get it.
it's kind of thing. So,
Okay.
We could dress him in all white and call him the Blizzard of
or
Odds.
like he could, or well, that's it. You could do that. You could be like if you do the green, you could be like the gambling gecko. You could be something kind of cool like that.
What if you went and you try and look like Kenny Rogers, and you're just
I could just be the gambler.
be the gambler?
I can wear that hat.
No, see, I'm sure that's been done though.
I'm not sure that's been done, at least not recently.
No.
I can get that old style Stetson like that. Yeah, we can make that work.
Or you just wear like cheetah print everything, and you're the cheetah, and like everything
don't
head to
wanna be
toe
the
is
cheetah.
cheetah.
That sounds like cheater.
Yeah, you
I
don't
know
want-
that's why you want to be that guy because they'll be like, I can't trust him. He's the cheetah, and you're like a bad guy. You're like a Batman villain from the old 1960s show.
I like you
Look
being
out
a villain.
for the cheetah.
Yeah, I like you being a villain.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
agree.
Because then you're a bad guy, and they're
Yeah.
intimidated. They're like, I don't know if we can
Or I
trust
could
this
wear
guy.
makeup and then I could put clown makeup on and do my hair up in a weird pattern. No, this is stupid. I'm not
Could be
doing any of
the
this.
poker clown.
Yes.
the poker
clown.
joker.
The poker joker.
Oh, dude,
Then you become the Joker.
I love that.
No,
Dude, I love that.
no,
And you
gosh.
do the whole voice and all that. Yeah.
I think I'm doing okay like I am, just for the record.
Now, do you have like when you sit down at the table? Do you have an opening statement that you'd like to say? Use,
Nope.
You
It
should.
all depends how the table goes. I'm one of those guys. It's all about what else is going on at the table. If there's somebody else being super loud and obnoxious, I will be quiet and just play off and use it against him. If everybody's being super quiet, then somebody's got to be the one to talk. It's usually me. But
and then they're
'Cause-
using it against you.
no, but
That kind of is what he
again,
said,
you
right?
have to be the opposite. You can't. You don't want 2 or 3 people at the table all being, really loud. It's just too distracting. It's even to me, it's too distracting. So
now, are most of the players? I know you said they're older, but do they kind of look like you?
No.
What do you mean by look like him?
You
Like,
mean big
kinda-
fat guys?
Like, are they all kind of like?
It's the amount of diversity in a poker game, like especially at night. Like if you those daytime tournaments, it's a lot of old people because it's during the day. But you play it on a Friday night, it's everybody, young people, old people,
I bet that's
men,
fun,
women,
huh?
black, white, Asian, Hispanic. It's everybody, and it's really interesting because your stereotypes play against you because you think, well, the old guy's going to play conservative. Not if he's smart, because he knows that you're going to look at him and think he's conservative because he's old. So you'll use that against you.
Mm-hmm.
All that kind of stuff.
What's your weakness? Do you have a weakness?
I don't like to fold. That's a very common weakness. A lot of times, I'm easy to bluff. If you make a big bet, sometimes I give in, and my gut says I know I've got this, but.
Yeah.
I don't want to, I don't want to lose too early.
I got you, man.
Kind of thing.
I got him.
I
got him. And it's
Okay.
I have to find something because
You, what do you mean you got him?
I got his
Persona?
his thing. Yes.
His alter ego.
Yep.
Okay.
Where is it? Oh no!
Do you ever lie to your wife about how much money you lost?
No, never. I've also never lied about how much money I've won. I'm totally honest.
So you walk in, you have a feathered suit. And you are Gary, the emotional emu.
Good weekend. This was fun.
No, you have a theme. You walk up and you press a button on the suit. You have like a little button on the suit, and you press it, and you have little speakers that are built into your feathered suit. And you walk over and you just kind of go, look at me. And you kind of flap your little wings a little bit.
I'm picturing a Ric Flair robe with the feathers.
Yes.
And right? Like this. Oh, this has so much potential, Patrick.
And
They'll be like-
you sit down and you have the voice. So, what are we playing today, boys?
I'm a raise.
Dude, they would completely be distracted by the whole persona of Gary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have just written your ticket to superstar. That's right. You are welcome.
This
Bubba,
is how
you own this.
This is how you get on the World Series of Poker,
Right.
bro. This is how it happens.
Yep.
That's right. I can hear ESPN announcers saying it.
Oh, here he comes,
Well,
everyone.
the crowd favorite.
The crowd favorite.
Everybody's
People
feathered
are
friend.
booing.
Yeah, they would boo. They
We
would
haven't
boo.
turned you heel yet. No. No.
Oh,
That-
it
that's
was,
part of
no
you.
one expected Gary to make a heel turn. That's where it really got weird. See, basically.
Throw somebody through a window. It's fine.
Who do you think you are? I am. It's gonna be you, man.
So good.
It's gonna
Or
be so
you
great.
just call yourself the meme, and you just get out there and you throw out memes the whole time. You just look at people and you're like, do all the Doge stuff or whatever.
No, you were right with Gary.
You like the Gary
Settle
thing?
on Gary.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm not going to be Gary.
Why not?
You are Gary. You're already Gary.
Not only that, you could be walking through the casino signing autographs,
Yes.
or you sign them. You have it's like a Post-it note thing, and you sign Gary and you throw it, and you walk over and you go Gary and you throw another one, Gary.
Bubba
and
is just trying to get me kicked out of a casino.
no, they're gonna
That
be
is-
like this
oh,
guy
yes.
is the
I don't know. Or
craziest-
they're going to see you as a gold mine.
Yeah, because everybody's going to be talking about Gary because they know, a casino knows that a little quirky person becomes an
Yes.
attraction for
Yes.
other people because other people will go back and go, man, you're not going to believe what I saw.
Patrick
I sat down at the table and this feathered boa wearing dude walks up and he had a theme song and his name was Gary the Emotional Emu. And it was
This dude's got speakers attached to him. Mm-hmm. He wears a vest of speakers, and it plays this.
you know you like it.
Then you have a valet in the back that's yelling, Gary!
It's
Dude,
so bad.
You're gonna get like you're gonna have like Gary groupies.
Oh. That's just terrifying just to think of.
You're just gonna have like
We'll call them the emulators.
And they will step up. You walk past the nickel slots, and they're like, they start doing that. What was that? The lady who used to do the walk. Remember the little walking lady, the prancing lady.
Prancer size.
They do the prancer size
Dude, you're
behind
gonna have
you.
your own thing.
Yes.
They're just gonna love that. Your song's gonna be playing. Everyone's gonna get into it. It's gonna be like the new version of line dancing. And it's starting now. This is history. Like I'm gonna journal about this.
Well, that's good because I'm not going to actually do it. I don't want to wear a feather
somebody's going to
suit.
do it, and you are going to rue the day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
are.
I will. It'll be okay.
Imminent ruin.
Talk about different paths of our lives.
That's right.
Alternate.
How differently my life could have gone
Yeah.
if only
Yeah.
I'd embraced being Gary the emotional
Yeah,
emu
you could win
in real
$6
life.
million pots instead of $600 pots.
That's right.
It's up to you. I mean,
up
whatever
to
you
you.
want to do. I mean,
No
it's your
wrong.
life, your choice, whatever.
We're just here to help you.
We're enablers.
No, you're not.
Yeah, we are. We're enablers. We're here to
enablers.
enable.
Guys, we can only bring the horse to water.
Yeah,
That's it.
That's it. All right.
He's
Are
at
we
the
done?
trough. I don't know
Are
what
we
to
done
do.
now?
Carson, what are
Okay,
you
good.
doing this weekend?
Oh, really more excited. I'm sewing.
All
so
right.
I've been working on a bunch of new projects,
Working
a
on that-
collaboration.
That feather boa thing?
I know I'm very not at all fancy.
see- it'd
The
be-
problem is now I'm picturing how I can make him a Ric Flair robe.
You do like a vest with like tails, like tuxedo tails.
Yeah.
Like a little penguin.
Dude, that'd be so cool. If you had a satin jacket with
I
tails.
see that for some reason.
Dude, that'd be hot. It would
We'll
be.
make you one. We'll see.
Get him to play poker. This doesn't apply to him. It's only you,
Oh, it's
Patrick.
only me. Yeah. No, I'm good.
So you're working on some collabs.
Yeah,
for,
you want to see a sneak peek?
for sales? I mean, what are you?
Yeah,
what are you selling?
I'm working with our friend Amber, and she's bleaching shirts, and I'm sewing them. So
Why are we bleaching shirts? I'm just curious.
I don't know. People like bleached shirts. I don't get it. I
So
don't
it's
know.
just like kind of faded? Is that what you mean?
like she
Like almost like
dips
tie dye.
it in bleach, like that.
Oh wow.
Like I sewed all the stuff on the back. If you want me to hold it up, I
Yeah,
can.
it's
Yeah.
hold
Put
it
it-
up. It's
yeah.
very vintagey looking
Yeah.
and all that. I like the shirt. Is that a shirt or a jacket?
It's a plaid
So-
shirt.
Yeah, that'd have been a great jacket.
Okay, so that's just she dips that jacket or shirt or whatever.
Yeah, she dips it in
In
bleach, and then
bleach.
I sew the thing on it, and then I do the embroidery around it.
Problem is when you use that much bleach on something to make it that white.
It's going to end up deteriorating.
Yeah, the fabric's really.
Which people like the distressed look.
Okay.
But it's her wheelhouse, and I said I can do the fancy stuff on top. I don't know what the kids today like. She does.
Okay.
I like to sew. And
So have y'all
it's my
collabed already?
Yeah, I've done 2 so far.
And
so
have
I did
they
that
sold
one.
quickly?
We haven't listed them yet. So this is you guys have seen them before anybody else.
Oh, is that another one you're gonna?
Oh yeah, it was the first one I did. It was the Arkansas Razorbacks.
By
So-
request?
No, I just found an Arkansas Razorbacks T-shirt cheap at Goodwill.
Oh, and you sewed it onto the back
Uh-huh.
of it?
So
Yeah, I
you just
cut
cut
it
it out and wow.
Yep, and then get embroidery
So
thread.
somebody
and-
online's going to be like, "Oh, I must have this." and
I
they're gonna
hope
buy
so.
it.
I don't know. Somebody else bought a shirt I customized like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, okay. Like, I just like to sew, and the problem is I have too much stuff at my house.
Have you made any more money off those cassettes?
Oh yeah, yeah. I think we're up to like 2,300 now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
On what-
A box of cassettes that she bought for $20.
Yeah.
She's made $2,300.
Yeah, and there's still. I think half of them are left. They haven't even been listed yet. So we gotta put a bunch more. Yeah, it's insane that people again cassettes are making, and some of them. I mean, most of them are only selling for like less than $5. It's just that there are those couple that people are spending $100 for.
Wow.
It's insane.
That's nuts.
That's why if you've got your cassettes, get them out. They don't have to work. Some of them people just want them for display, if that makes sense, like to look like
Oh my
they're the
gosh.
fan or they have it. And you can put right in your listing wherever you're selling it, just say that, haven't tested it, can't ensure that it works as is, and then let
Do you
people
remember-
pay you money.
Do you remember the worst is whenever your tape started to squeak? Remember that? Like you get the squeaky tapes and you're like, no, I love this one.
Then I had to go back and buy a new one, and then they didn't make cassettes anymore. Wah. So, yeah, that's my weekend is sewing and probably selling.
And Big D, what are you doing?
I don't know. I may smoke some meat this weekend. I don't know.
Baseball?
Baseball's tonight and possibly tomorrow if we it's a best of two out of three. So if we win both doubleheaders tonight, then we won't. But if we split it, which I think we will split it, then we'll play again tomorrow. And then if we win that, we'll play Monday. I think it's on rain Monday. But it's districts, man, to high school. It's very, very important.
It is actually important. I mean, you got to get through districts to get to state and all that kind of stuff. That's kind of a big deal.
The playoffs, man.
You know, Dee, I was thinking about you the other day because I went to an estate sale, and they had all these old T-shirts from tournaments in 2000. And so it was people that played regionally, like either 3 or 4 states, and they have the dates on them and stuff, and they sold them to me for $25. And they're just cool graphic T-shirts, but it's, baseball.
Yeah.
And I thought, I wasn't going to like sell them to you. I just thought of you because I was like, oh, baseball.
You're going to dip them in
bleach and then
Bleach.
sew Pac-Man on it.
You know, there is
a little much.
in the firefighter community. There is a lot of guys. A lot of people will trade patches or coins, challenge coins, or even T-shirts. Yeah, it's kind of a big deal. So, yeah, if you ever have an old firefighter shirt or anything like that, don't throw it away. If it's a XX, hook a brother up. Just saying.
Well, now I know what to be on the lookout for.
Yeah, if you run across it.
Who's on the podcast?
Justin Moore.
Justin Moore.
Yep, he's got the Straight Out of the Country. I said duh, like you were suggesting. Straight Out of the Country, and we'll talk about that and all that on the audio version of the podcast only. If you're watching on YouTube, sorry, you get different things in different places. And the audio people, sorry, you don't get to see all the shirts that Carson was showing off.
There you go.
All right, so guys, have a great one. And we will see you later.
This was the podcast, but now it's over. That's okay, 'cause you can listen to the regular show on the radio every day. It was the podcast.